fertilization is the process where male and female gamete fused and then it sequentially forms as diploid zygote. And on the other side, the second male nucleus fuses with the secondary nucleus and forms endosperm mother cell. The fertilization was first discovered by Strasburger in 1884. The whole process is processed in ovum, but the first thing that happens is pollen germination. During germination, the pollen grain develops pollen tube, but the point is to be noted that the pollen tube is monosiphonous. That means the pollen grain usually develops one pollen tube, but in some cases the pollen grain develops more than one tube. This is the picture of Althea rosea plant, where the pollen grain develops more than one tube. So, the type of pollen grain is polysiphonous. The generative cell divides to form two male gametes. After reaching on the top of the ovary, the grain develops and germinates to make pollen tube. The type of entry of the pollen tube in the ovary is of three types. In porogamy, the pollen tube enters the ovule through micropyle. Then the second type is chalazogamy, where the pollen tube enters through chalaza. And the example is casuarina plant. The third type comes, which is mesogamy. In this type, the pollen tube makes a way to enter the ovule through cuniculus or integument. The tube is then entered inside either point number 1, between one syngrid and the egg, or point number 2, between one syngrid and the wall of the sac, or point number 3, directly into the syngrid to destroy the syngrid. After that, the apex of the pollen tube divides into two unequal short branches. The shorter one reaches to the egg and the longer one to the secondary nucleus. Then the gametes are released. After releasing from the pollen tube, the male gamete fuses with the egg and forms the zygote. This is syngamy or true fertilization. Then the second male gamete fuses with the secondary nucleus and forms a triploid nucleus, which is called endosperm mother nucleus, and this is the triple fusion. As two male gamete take part in the process, so the process is called double fertilization. The double fertilization was observed by Navasin in 1898 in the species of Fritillaria and Lyrium. The zygote develops into embryo and the endosperm mother nucleus develops into endosperm, which is used to give nutrition of the embryo. So, is it informative? So please like and subscribe my channel to get the first notification of our new videos.